And we're rolling.
Oh, yep. This is the Let the Freaks Talk podcast.
Nope. Let the freaks speak.
Let the Freaks Speak podcast. Welcome, everyone. You got Nick
Episode
and Nathaniel. Same as usual.
Nick and Nathaniel talking about everything and talking about nothing at the same time. When will this podcast take off? And when will they stop talking about what they're doing right now?
Okay, so what are the topics today?
What are the topics today? Well,
what have you
well, it's the end of the week. It's Friday.
Okay, that is.
How was your week?
It was alright. Didn't do much. Kind of just like did the usual. Went to work. Bid the sheep. The shepherd wasn't there, but kept it all the same. Just the week, but March has been going by really fast for me.
Has it?
Yeah, kind of like
just floating on by.
Just floating on by.
Well, it's like fuck. What today's the Ides of March. Today's March 15th. Beware the Ides of March. My English teacher always used to emphasize that whenever we would read Julius Caesar.
What was that line?
Beware the Ides of March.
What does that mean?
Well, the Ides of March. I don't remember the whole context of it, but
is that like a war going on?
It's just like I couldn't tell you honestly. I don't remember what exactly it means, but it's just like someone tells Caesar, like Caesar goes and sees, like I think maybe an oracle or something, but someone tells him to beware the Ides of March.
Okay.
And he gets killed. I think he gets killed on that day. Like
in March.
Yeah, he gets. They overthrow him and they murder him.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, I think he probably deserved it.
You think so? The last podcast we talked about.
I thought we talked about it.
Yeah, we
before.
did talk about it.
Oh, another thing we brought up the other day is how we always talk about
categories.
We talk about things that we've already talked about.
Yeah, I think the whole idea is like to move on from that, but like what do you do when you like have these topics that you have to talk about, but you only go into like pretty much like a little amount as the time? It's like it's brought up and then we talk about it, but then there'll be that coincidence where we're still talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think we just have more to say about it, or is it just like that repetitiveness that we have for it?
I guess it just depends on what we're talking about and then what we say the second time around, because most of the time we might just be repeating ourselves. And I would hate to be the person that finds it out later on. You're just like, well, shit, I've been recording like 7 of the same podcasts almost.
Well, we figured that out.
Yeah, we come to realize that we need to spread our wings a little bit and cover a wider range of things to talk about.
But like, what is there to really talk about? And like, everyone's talked about everything at the like one time or another, Yeah. Us just making jokes about it and like just continuing the conversation because we think it's funny. Like, I wonder if people will understand that. I guess you just gain your own audience at the proper time for it.
Yeah, I think eventually if you build a good fan base, people will just be fans of you in particular, and maybe they'll just be interested in anything you have to say.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you also want to give your listeners or your people that are listening or watching or whatever you're doing, you want to give them a little bit of something. You don't want to just be giving them fucking hollow pieces of shit. Of course.
Well, the whole idea is, which we did cover the last one also, is finding that way to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like finding the vocabulary and the way to like speak it to like not have it be so
bland.
Yeah,
exactly. I'd be like, Well, the other day I was down at the park, and when we were at the park, a dog came and bit me.
I guess the most relevant thing I did was Captain Marvel.
You went and watched Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
how was it?
It was amazing. It was really good. Liked it better than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why are you comparing those two?
Because they both have to do with sci-fi moments.
Okay.
It's because they both have.
They're both not. They both
have to do with space and aliens. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't really like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I did like Captain Marvel.
You didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy so much?
I couldn't catch on to it. Like,
what did you feel like it was just too kiddie?
Not that it was too kiddie. It was just like, I don't know. It just didn't attract me. Like, it's cool and it looks really well done. The special effects and everything. Yeah. But as the way it is, I just don't like it. I don't know. It's not the cast either. I don't know. Like, you like certain comics. I like certain.
Movies. You like the Thor movies, don't you?
I like the third Thor. No, the second Thor movie.
Yeah, Dark World.
Yeah,
I never watched that one.
That one's good.
I never watched the first one either.
Like that one.
I watched the third one and I was like, "This one's good." I thought it was good because it had good comedic moments.
I didn't like that. I felt like it should have been like a more serious.
If you want a serious fucking,
because the second one was serious.
Go watch a DC fucking movie, bro. Obviously, Marvel, now that they've been bought by Disney, they're no longer gonna. Maybe Netflix. Their Netflix series, I think, was the closest they got to being as super serious because their Netflix series were really good and they didn't have, they didn't have those fucking kiddie moments where there was stupid humor. It was more mature humor, if anything.
Well, one thing they also have is Star Wars movies, and they're gonna make an Obi-Wan movie.
I hope they fucking cast correctly.
Yeah, of course. But how do you think that's gonna play out? Because Disney doesn't go by the scripts that George Lucas has. They go by their own scripts with their own writers.
Yeah, because
they pay a writer, a director or whatever.
Yeah, I think they threw away the original canon.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Yeah, he still has it, George Lucas. Yeah, but they don't. They're not ever gonna play it unless George makes it.
There was thousands. There's a lot of books that have been written about
it's all
the timeline. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's there's
because I'm pretty sure
Luke has 2 kids.
Well, not just that, but when Obi-Wan gets old and he's watching over Luke as a child.
Yeah.
Either Darth Maul.
No, Darth Maul comes back.
Or his brother comes to
No, it's Darth
Maul.
Darth Maul comes back.
How are they gonna play
with
that?
Robotic legs. Yeah. No, did you ever watch Rogue One?
Yeah.
No, not Rogue One.
No.
Solo.
Yeah, Solo.
So in Solo, he makes his appearance. He's got those robot legs.
Yeah.
And once I saw those robot legs, immediately I knew. I was like, that's Darth Maul, because there's a comic that I read some time ago, and it was Darth Maul comes back to try and find Darth Vader's son to kill him.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan is looking out after Luke, and he stops him again, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder how they're gonna play that out, because of course Obi-Wan wins because he dies by Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But I wonder how they're just gonna play out that death scene.
Him slaying Darth Maul.
Yeah,
again.
because the first time they did, he you see him slice him in half and then he falls down.
I think Darth Maul has been he gets reincarnated. No,
the brother finds him.
The senator, not the senator.
Palpatine does?
Yeah, Palpatine, or the Emperor, becomes. He gets reincarnated a few times as well, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's all fucking.
It's all a story, but I wonder how they're gonna just play that out, because it's Disney. And
I wonder how they're gonna end this fucking final trilogy. Well, not this final trilogy, but this first remake trilogy, this Disney reboot trilogy.
Did you like the Han Solo movie?
I liked it at the time. I tried rewatching it and I couldn't get so into it. Yeah. I liked it, but it's...
You know what part I didn't like?
What part?
You know how, in the movie, in the original movies, how he's going through the explosion and he goes, he slants himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're not gonna make it. And he's like, yeah, we are. And then he does it. And then they brought that back in the new movie.
But they made it a joke.
Yeah, they made a joke, and like he's younger trying to do it, and like it like has to do with like like it's I forget. I don't know the word, but it's more than just being a joke. Like there's a foreshadowing to it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't like that. That was just stupid. See, that's totally Disney for you. And that's
it was just like, hey, this is Han Solo right here, because look, he's doing things Han Solo did. It's just like he's human. He used to fail too. No, Han Solo was a badass.
Yeah.
Han Solo never failed until his son killed him.
I don't even know how I feel about that Wookiee part where they're like feed him to the beast, and then like he meets Chewbacca, but Chewbacca's cool with him, but he's killed like thousands of people in there, like, or hundreds, just to survive.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they downplayed.
The encounter.
It didn't seem as
he's like
authentic.
Because they played it out like Han Solo already knew how to speak Wookiee. But the Wookiees are scattered throughout the galaxy.
Well, he was part of the Empire, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, because the Empire is just gonna kill people. That's all they do.
Maybe he was stationed near a Wookiee. I don't know.
I don't think the Emperor was like, let's set a base here and then like we can watch them, like how America does it.
Yeah.
I don't think they work like that.
I don't know. I'm not a writer.
Right. Star Wars. See, this is. I just feel like the whole story's too Disney for my liking. I mean, it's a good story, like a good outlaw story with Woody Harrelson and stuff, but like too much Disney comedy. It was just too Disney. Han Solo's better than that. I felt like.
Han Solo, rated R.
Not even that, dude. Han Solo's bad. Watch, they're gonna save the badassery for
Obi-Wan.
No, not just Obi-Wan.
Darth Vader.
The bounty hunter.
Oh, the Mandalorian, dude. It's Jon Favreau's making that movie. It's the Mandalorian movie.
Is it going to be about Boba Fett?
Mandalorian. It's about
or is it about just bounty hunters?
The bounty hunters, like their tribe, the Mandalorians.
Yeah. See that I feel like that's what they're saying for.
I think that's the right way to take it, because that's something that no one. It's something similar to characters that were in that made franchise. For some reason, Boba Fett was a giant character back in the day, even though he wasn't really that cool of a fucking character. He didn't do much. He looked awesome as fuck, but. He wasn't killing a bunch of motherfuckers. And stuff.
You learn in the books that he did escape the Sarlacc pit.
Books, though, that's not but
movies. He's more badass than
Well, they made him more badass because of how popular he was from just that fucking.
From that moment.
Well, yeah, because
he falls into the Sarlacc pit.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know they sold that was one of the fucking major selling toys before the movie came out, was a Boba Fett character.
That's crazy.
Right? And
he's a cool looking guy, dude.
He's got sweet armor. I think Boba Fett looked way cooler than Jango Fett. One of my things I want to do is have a stormtrooper costume and wear a full body helmet.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that'd be so cool.
In a full body suit. That'd be fucking tight. I always wanted to get a full, just a full Power Ranger helmet.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Right.
Which one?
The White Ranger.
White Ranger?
White Ranger is tight.
That's pretty cool. What was the White Ranger? Was he the tiger?
The White Tiger, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was the Green Dragon.
So the green.
I think he was a green dragon or something. Well, so originally the Green Ranger wasn't part of the.
Yeah, of course he was a bad guy.
Rita put a fucking spell on. Rita put a spell on Tommy to make him the Green Ranger, so she could have her own Power Ranger that could fight the Power Rangers that was a little bit stronger. But then they eventually ended up making him a good Power Ranger, and then he became the White Ranger because he was powerful.
So the White Ranger is more powerful than the others?
Well, Yeah, he becomes the leader of it.
Wait, the White Ranger becomes the leader, or does he become the Red Power Ranger?
Later on in the series, the guy that plays him and his character Tommy becomes various different Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
But he becomes the White Ranger, and then he becomes the leader of the Power Rangers.
So who's stronger, the green or the white or the red? Who's the string?
I would say the White Ranger is one of the stronger ones because the Green Ranger was turned good, and the Red Ranger was powerful. But if the Red Ranger was so powerful, then the White Ranger would have never became leader. But the White Ranger was so powerful that he became leader when he pretty much when he joined the fucking group.
That's crazy, man. He's strong.
Right?
Power Rangers are strong, dude. They can teleport and shit.
Dude, Power Rangers are fucking dope.
Dude.
Did you ever watch the remake?
No.
I fell asleep when I was watching it because it was not that good.
Wow,
which was so sad because...
How could they do that?
I've read so many articles about people wanting to push a rated R Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be fucking wicked.
It'd be so hard.
Well, yeah, because a bunch of kids would want to go see it, but it'd be fucking a cool movie to see some crazy ass shit going down with Power Rangers. Yeah,
that's true. Not make it about the kids and stuff. Kind of make it them as young adults.
Exactly. I think there's those Power Rangers where they're kind of younger adults.
Yeah.
Those different series.
There's police Power Rangers.
Yeah. So I think it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was the first. That was the first series, and then it became Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Shit, did you ever watch that one?
Dude, I watched them all. I just don't remember them.
So,
but only I do remember the Mighty Morphin that. Those ones stick out.
The Alien Ranger one was pretty much. So what happened was the Power Rangers got turned into kids again, and then some aliens came and the aliens were given the Power Ranger powers, and the aliens were Power Rangers for that series until they could help out the original Power Rangers.
That's crazy.
And then...
What a crazy plot.
Right? There were a bunch of different... There was Power Ranger Samurais, Power Ranger Ninjas, Power Rangers Dino Force.
Dang.
Jungle Force.
They're all going to kill, but the best are the Mighty Morphin.
Wild Force. Mighty Morphin were fucking wicked.
What was it? It was the Tyrannosaurus.
Pterodactyl. Beijing Tiger.
Yeah?
I think so. I think that was the Yellow Rangers.
Was there the Black
Mastodon?
Rhino? Yeah, Mastodon.
Red Ranger was T-Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I thought he just said Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus.
I don't know. I have it on DVD.
It's so funny.
But it's so my mom got this pretty much where you can put a VHS player in this machine and then you record it on a blank DVD disc and then you can transfer that movie onto a DVD. I should do that with all of my fucking VHS movies so I could just watch them on my Xbox. Yeah.
That isn't you won't have copyright issues for that?
I am not sure. I'll have to talk to my mom about how she did that.
Your mom's doing illegal stuff.
It's not like she was selling them. She just did it. It's I think.
See, that sounds very illegal because they have the technology to do it.
So
you can buy it at the store,
Yeah, no, exactly. It's pretty much for transferring your old home videos onto a newer format. Yeah.
That makes sense,
right? I can just fucking upload them onto a computer.
Home Alone.
I have Home Alone 1 and 2 on DVD. Those are that's a have to get Christmas movie.
See, I don't watch Home Alone.
You don't watch Home Alone?
I watch the Christmas Story. A Christmas Story.
I watch A Christmas Story on Christmas Day. That's the time I watch it.
Ralph Parker, bro. It's a legendary.
Right?
You're gonna shoot your eye out. People are crazy.
Dude,
he's all fuck.
Such a good movie. Mm-hmm. I like whenever he's fantasizing about shooting those bandits that are trying to break into his house. It's such that's such an American movie. Mm-hmm. That's an American Christmas movie.
I like his little brother doesn't eat, so the mom's they have a way for him to eat, and she's all "Who's my little piggy?"
Just
dude. And then Ralphie's and the dad's not paying attention, trying not to pay attention.
Fucking, he's reading that thing. Drink more Ovaltine. He's all bummed out.
It's a commercial.
It's like, I want a Red Rider with a compass in the stock. That's a good Christmas movie. What's another good Christmas movie?
It was Die Hard.
Bruce Willis claims at the end of his roast, at the end of Bruce Willis Comedy Central roast, he says, and the one thing I have to say, this is his last remark, he's just like, I only have one last thing to say. Die Hard is not a fucking Christmas movie. So
that's a good movie, though.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's not a Christmas movie. Well, too bad you had it on Christmas, man.
Why did it have to be around
great
Christmas?
movie. Dude, it's just a perfect plot. Like that. Why would that happen at a Christmas movie? I mean, no one's doing anything on Christmas. This is a total just a hypothetical scenario, but it kind of makes sense. I don't think it's too far-fetched of a movie.
When was the last good Christmas movie that came out? I watched this, that Christmas Office Party movie.
The one with Jordan Lovitz and
Seth Rogen's The Night Before.
Yeah, The Night Before. I like
that one. That one's
hilarious.
Great. That one's really good.
I love I like the actor especially. I don't know his name, but the one he's the angel.
Oh yeah,
he's also the weed dealer.
Yeah,
he smokes the pipe and then he's smoking a joint, but he puts the pipe in his mouth.
He's hitting it. He's like, I think you guys is my kid. And then at the end, he just flies. Yeah, dude, that shit's so crazy.
It's I deserve these. That's a good one. I like that one.
Dude, I love James Franco's scene in that movie.
Oh yeah,
dude,
that part
and
was
Seth Rogen's
so
just
explicit.
Have I ever sucked a dick? And then he's just like, well, Evan, you're gonna be sucking.
He's all I like when Jordan Gordon Lovitz is fighting the Santa guys, and then they're like, "Is this about something else? This feels like it's about something else." He's like, "No, it's not."
It's like fucking frat boys. He's like, I'm a fucking pediatric. He's like, I'm a fucking pediatric. I'm a fucking kindergarten teacher. I shape our youth's minds.
That's a good.
They
got good parts.
That was probably the last good Christmas movie that came out.
He crucified the Messiah.
He's like, well, we didn't do that to him.
Because Seth Rogen's character is just he doesn't do drugs anymore.
Yeah, because he's becoming a dad.
Yeah, no, because he can only do drugs once in a while when his wife lets him, and she got him a bunch of drugs as a Christmas present.
Yeah,
and so he was just doing all the drugs.
Well, he's trying to fucking enjoy them all within that one
night. Yeah, that's crazy. You think
he's like, I'm gonna do a little bit of cocaine to try and even out the mushrooms.
Do a little here and then have it for a little while, keep the acid. He's just eating all the mushrooms and the Molly and stuff.
Yeah, and then he gets that fucking bloody nose and it drops into that chick's drink.
Oh yeah,
it's it tastes a little bit. What did she say? Iron. Yeah. No, she's like, it tastes like a penny.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
She's like, are you?
That's just good comedy.
Yeah. That's a really good one. Fucking, I don't know.
What else is there then? Christmas movie. I didn't watch that new Grinch movie.
Passion of the Christ. No, I haven't watched that new Grinch movie either. I want to know if it'll be good. I like some animation, what is it?
Looks
animation.
Nice.
What studio is it? The studio that did Despicable Me. Oh, Lumination. It's Lumination. They do some good stuff, like The Secret Life of Pets. That's really good. I think that's theirs.
I haven't seen that one either.
Hannibal Buress is in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who does he play?
He plays this wiener dog.
That's funny.
It is funny. He's really cool.
What does he say?
He's chill. Kevin Hart's in it too. Kevin Hart plays this crazy ass bunny.
Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Tommy Chong's in it.
Tommy Chong's in it?
Yeah.
What does he play?
He plays this he plays this yoga instructor that's like a llama, I think. Or he's some crazy it's just like he's meant to look like a fucking stoner. And he's just some hippie dude.
Oh, is he a pet or is he a person?
Everybody's animals. It's okay. No, I'm thinking of Zootopia. I'm starting to fucking cross things.
Okay, so wait, you're talking about Zootopia with Tommy Chong in it?
Yeah, Tommy Chong's in Zootopia. Not in Secret Life of Pets.
Not in the Secret Life of Pets.
I think Chris Pratt's in Secret Life of Pets, though.
Chris Pratt. All I know is that he does the Lego movies, and I'm waiting for that to come out. I didn't even have...
Lego Movie 2's already out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dang,
it came out March 8th, I think.
Okay.
No, that was Captain Marvel. I think it came out before that, though. There's a lot of good actors in the Lego movies.
Mm-hmm.
Will Arnett, Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Baker. I don't think that's her last name, but it's something with a B.
All I know is Chris Pratt.
Allison Bree's in it. A lot of cool actresses and actors.
Who does Batman in those movies?
Will Arnett. Will Arnett's
that Batman movie was great. Funny.
He actually voiced...
He's like trying not to have a family. I think it's so perfect. That's such a sad thing, but so funny. He doesn't want a family. He's like... That's why he's Batman.
Fucking Batman.
Batman's crazy, dude.
When are they gonna stop making goddamn Batman movies?
I hope never. Batman's like the best. I love Batman. And Spider-Man.
I don't know. I just wish they'd stick with someone and make like a lot of movies with them for a while. Like what they did with Wolverine.
So you're saying like too many remakes?
Yeah, I'm just getting fucking tired. What I liked about this remake of the most recent Spider-Man is that they didn't pretty much start with an origin story.
Well,
they started like, hey, right. He's like, you guys know who Spider-Man is by now. Yeah. There's fucking 2 other series you can watch to understand how Spider-Man guy's fucking powers.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Spider-Man is... And then you can watch the multiverse movie.
Oh, dude, that multiverse movie was great.
You saw it?
We watched it together.
Oh. Dude, that movie was amazing, bro. Oh,
yeah, that movie, I like.
You see Spider-Man die in that movie, which I really like. Spoiler alert. Too bad.
That movie won a Grammy and an Oscar, I think.
Really?
It was like one of the best animated movies of the year.
It was so good. Dude, and the way it looked, the animation, you know, the quantum reactor or whatever they're using, and like how the colors were blasting out of it. Right. That was so cool.
Freaking Kingpin looked crazy.
It was all... Yeah, Kingpin. Remember, dude, he was just a little head on a big ass body.
That shit was hilarious.
Dude, that was funny.
That was good.
When you pointed that out,
fucking hilarious.
I liked how they put that difference in between Peter Parker's. How there's the
blonde one, and then there's the.
But isn't the first
one that dies is blonde?
Yeah, no, the first. Spider-Man, doesn't he have that perfect life? And then the second generation is the one that pretty much had that like complicated type of life.
I don't know. I'm not well versed in Spider-Man that well.
Okay, well I think something like that happened because I'm pretty sure there's a Spider-Man. You know, they made tons of them. And when they usually made these characters, sometimes they would want them to have like the best life ever. You know.
Oh, of course. And then sometimes you start to see how being a hero starts to affect your personal life.
Exactly. Well, they do that with then, they make a next generation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just
like this different
it's
story.
Just different writers.
Yeah, exactly.
Different writers take on, and they're like, I'm going to change it up just a bit. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to. It's like, no, this is how. Well, sometimes they do, you know. Mm-hmm. Like, well, but this is how he goes.
That difference that they put in that movie is like really good. It's funny too.
Yeah.
He's all like, there's always a Gizmo or a Gagu or whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. He's talking about their like inventions that they made, and that like how similar they are, and like he's all crying with this Spider-Man suit on in the shower. This shit's so funny. He's eating pizza all the time. He's fat, but he's still Spider-Man, so he has crazy fast abilities.
Right.
Like even unhealthy Spider-Man's like stronger than the average human.
Well, isn't Spider-Man like one of the strongest fucking Marvel characters?
Before who they have now.
Who do they have now that's like super strong? What, Captain Marvel?
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Those
Captain
guys.
Marvel's always been there.
Well, Spider-Man was like, he was the fourth strongest. There's the Hulk, there's the Thing. And
so you're saying Spider-Man's the fourth strongest?
Yeah, he was the fourth strongest.
Well, I thought he was the first at one point.
No, he was. The Hulk was the first
Hulk's always been strongest.
Yeah, and then it would go like,
Thing.
The other Thing, and
when are they gonna depict the Thing really good? Because I feel like both times they've depicted him, they've kind of sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like the first Thing?
I mean, I liked it at the time because I was like, "Damn, this is cool."
Yeah, it looked cool.
But then you go back and watch it, and it's just sucks. Like, this sucks.
Oh, damn.
Same with like the first X-Men. That's like the first X-Men. I love it because it just
first one's good. Though.
No, it's a great story. But the only thing that disappoints me is their outfits. They're like black leather outfits.
They make a joke about it. He's just like, "What were you expecting? A yellow jumpsuit?"
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's the
fucking X-Men.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
you want to see that Spider-Man dope ass suit. If they busted out once, that would have been cool. But it doesn't make sense why he would be wearing it.
What did you think about Logan?
It was amazing. I liked the first one I've ever seen in theaters. I would never really watch even the old movies with Hugh Jackman in them. But the real one I really seen was the Wolverine origin movie. Like that's
the one with Sabretooth.
Mm-hmm. And I liked that movie, and it like got me into seeing Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine.
I watched that movie. I watched a bootleg copy of that movie to the point where like whenever him and Deadpool are fighting at the end, like it starts to cut and like his head falls off, and it was literally showing like fucking like CGI, like the like a digital structure of it without the like layering of like color and detail on top. So it was literally just like lines, and it would show like just like this line, this circular head, like sketch pretty much, like sketches of the fucking Thing. It was like ripped off the internet, probably. I think my older brother got it at the fucking Earl's thrift store.
That's so.
Yeah, so like I watched it and I was just like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, I bet.
And the way Deadpool was just like shitty. Deadpool looked dumb, and I'm glad they made a fucking joke about it in the first Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first Deadpool was like that. I don't know if he had the swords in his arm, but he didn't have a mouth. He only had he talked through telekinetic.
That's dumb.
That was the first one, dude, and people seemed to like it until they
made
him for Ryan Reynolds.
Well, you know what?
That's Ryan Reynolds.
I think Deadpool has a teleportation watch, and I don't think they show that. Yeah. I think that's one thing he has, because I used to have this giant X-Men encyclopedia, and Deadpool's part of the X-Men universe.
Yeah. Well, he's a project.
Yeah, he's part of Project X.
He's this crazy ass thing. He wasn't just someone who could had healing regenerative powers. He had other people's powers that made Deadpool.
Yeah,
he was an X project, but they took that away. They gave him a new story, and people seem to like it. It's all right. I mean,
yeah.
Personally, that sounds cool.
No, because they still gave him that.
Well, he's more human this way.
They just changed it up a little bit. They gave him that, like he was a mercenary, which he was, because he was a mercenary for the government. But they just made it different to where he got his powers from, instead of like being with everybody else that was getting fucked over and having all this shit done to them, like all these other superheroes that were being mutated. They decided to change it to where he was sick and trying to find a cure.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
That's a tough one. I used to really like Spike a lot. From like X-Men Evolution. That's where he started to appear a lot. I like Iceman a lot. Iceman's pretty dope, but I don't like the way he's portrayed in the Spider-Man and Friends.
I like
Pyro's also sick.
Magneto's
awesome, but
I just dig that fool. He's so cool. Magneto's fucking awesome.
Who plays him in the movies?
Fucking the baddest motherfucker, Saruman.
What is his name? Some British man. Sir something. Blah, blah. No, dude, he doesn't play Sauron. He plays Gandalf, motherfucker.
No, Gandalf isn't.
Yeah.
Gandalf is Magneto.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I want to look it up because I'm almost fucking positive. Okay. I'm gonna check IMDb.
Okay, you do that. Earphones.
What do you?
I was gonna do that.
Yeah, my phone's faster.
I don't think it's Gandalf, dude. I'm pretty sure it's fucking the other wizard.
No, I think it's Gandalf. Okay, his name is Ian McKellen.
Okay.
Ian McKellen is fucking Gandalf.
Yeah. Damn it. He's Gandalf.
He's fucking Gandalf, bro.
What? Dude, that's crazy.
And then there's Patrick Stewart,
man. Patrick Stewart's a G.
I love him in fucking American Dad.
Have you seen his Macbeth?
Yeah, I watched it in English class. It was fucking great.
This is amazing. That guy's Macbeth in my head.
Macbeth is such a crazy story. A guy that's going crazy because his wife's convincing him to do all kinds of shit to become king.
He does that, something so serious and so good. Never thought I'd see something like that with his performance, but he does American Dad.
I think he was like a Broadway actor.
Was he?
Well, he's just like he works a lot with Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Because he would voice Joe's baby.
Yeah.
He's also the monologue of Joe's baby.
That's so funny. There's when he sucks on Bonnie's chest, he says, "It tastes just like a penny."
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, another penny reference.
Oh,
ding, 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 ding.
That's
you said the magic word. Oh,
that's awesome.
Fucking.
I like Patrick Stewart. I think he's funny.
He is. He plays some good. He does good voice work.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good voice. Mm-hmm. I think he did Broadway and like theater and stuff.
Wow. No wonder why he's a good actor. But you never really see him in anything like. I see. You see him in like the X-Mix movies, but like.
Chex-Mix movies.
The Chex-Mix movies, but like the most serious thing I've ever seen him in is like Macbeth.
Yeah, Macbeth is a pretty serious movie.
He's like, that's a shitty film.
But Logan, he killed it in Logan.
Yeah.
That was such a fucking movie.
He looked actually like a weak old man in that movie.
Right.
He's like, he's like, fuck you, Logan. He's like, I got dementia. I'm like, damn, dude, this guy really has dementia.
I got the version that you can watch it in black and white.
Oh, that's awesome.
I haven't got to watch it. I haven't like fully sat down and watched it in black and white yet, but I appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know they did that with Mad Max Fury Road. They released a Chrome edition, which was a black and white, and I'd like to check that out because
that sounds cool. I like Mad Max. It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
How do you feel about Tom Hardy as Mad Max? Have you watched any of these?
No, I've never seen the old ones. But
never watched? Have you watched any of them?
No, only the one with Tom Hardy.
So you've only watched Fury Road?
Yeah, dude, it was amazing.
Fury Road is really good,
so
but
good.
should watch.
I thought Tom Hardy was amazing in it too.
You should watch. You should watch the originals.
I heard they're good. I heard they're good.
So the first one's cool.
Okay.
The second one's the best one. The third one's pretty cool. The fourth one's really awesome because it's just like. Damn, because it's a higher budget, and better technology nowadays.
Okay, Mel Gibson.
No, now I'm talking about Tom Hardy's.
Okay.
Because they had a higher budget.
Yeah.
The second one though, the second one's really fucking dope.
What number is Tom Hardy? Is he number 4?
Yeah, he's number 4.
Dude, that's a good movie.
Mel Gibson's the original Mad Max. He's in the first 3.
Yeah.
And the third one, he's like an older man.
Okay.
So that's where like the timeline gets kind of confusing because in the third one, he's like an old man. It's like towards the end of Mad Max.
Oh, okay.
And
they kind of like threw Road Fury in as like a story pretty much. That's number 4.
So I think number 4 is like somewhere between it's either somewhere between number 2 and number 3. Or before number 2. I don't know, though.
You know what? I just thought.
What?
people, if they have not seen these movies, I feel bad for them because we're probably giving some spoilers.
Fuck them, go watch them because these are terrible spoilers.
With this one, we're just saying it's a good movie. Fuck yeah, you should watch it.
Yeah, it is.
I like that movie.
No, it is a good movie. The first movie just kind of shows you how he becomes who he is, and then the second movie is kind of like a little bit after the world went to shit.
I like how it's that whole story of like these beautiful women that they're like these like warlords are just trying to keep. And like one of them's pregnant and stuff.
That Fury Road was a really cool story. It was a lot different because the
old lady that's with them and she's shooting the shotgun. Part's cool, and then she dies. Pretty sure that she blasted too.
Doesn't she fall out of the truck?
No, I think one of the girls does.
I thought the one that gets shot, or the one that's pregnant.
Yeah, wait, doesn't she fall out?
Yeah, the pregnant one falls out because they still try and save the baby.
Yeah.
And then after they fail, I think they say it would have been a son, and then it was a boy, and then like that one guy is just like, I would have had a baby brother.
Yeah. That part's crazy, huh? That's a crazy fucking movie to put like that part in there. That's scary.
Yeah, just watch the originals. Dude. The originals are good too. Like the original one is like Mad Max starts out as a cop. He's a cop. Mel Gibson's a cop, and they're just like he's like fighting off this biker gang pretty much, and so then it shows how he became so like crazy and like wild and kind of like
he becomes
a justice seeker. Yeah, pretty much when he becomes Mad Max.
He's no longer Max.
And then the second one, I don't remember the exact point of the second one. He's just trying to get something. He's just trying to get gas. The whole point of the second one is he's just trying to get some gas.
Oh my god. It's the hardest thing
ever.
And
he's just like on a quest. He's just like helping out people so he can get gas.
And like
he's like
because the fourth one they're looking for water, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the third one, so in Rick and Morty, whenever they go to that fucking they're making fun of Thunderdome, which is his Mad Max movie.
Oh my god.
That's the third one. That's the original. That's the movie.
So he's like doing gladiator battles.
He goes to the city where they do gladiator battles, and he like gets involved with these tribes.
Oh shit!
And then at the end, he's like he helps out this tribe rebuild a plane, I think.
Oh, okay. Mad Max, that's cool.
Yeah, he's like an old man at the end of it with like really long hair and like long gray hair. And he's just like walking.
There's just some of those like old 80s movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I like it. Do you ever watch
Alien?
Escape from LA or Escape from New York?
No.
Those I never watched them. Those are with like Kurt Russell, but I heard those are like really good movies. I think Tool's got some songs in them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Right?
I wonder which ones. Probably like
Undertow. It's like from Anima, I think.
I know.
But
Stinkfist.
And then Pussifer was in the first Pussifer. The first time Pussifer was released, I think, was in when Underworld came out. That movie with the vampires, Lycan. Huh? Did you ever watch that movie? Did you ever watch Underworld?
Huh? Of which movie?
Underworld.
With Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about them? The first one was really dope.
Which one's the first one? Is that one?
That's the one where she finds the guy that got like attacked by the Lycan, so he's going to become a Lycan, but then she ends up turning him into like half Lycan, half vampire.
That's the first one?
Yeah.
And then the second one's The Rise of the Lycans?
I think so.
See, I like that one.
And then the third... No. So it goes Underworld, Evolution. So I think Evolution might be the one.
Okay. Because there's Rise of the Lycans.
I think that's the third one.
See, I like that one.
Which one was that one? Is that the one where it like goes back in time?
Yeah, back in time.
Like it's more medieval.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
You didn't like that one?
I didn't watch that one.
That one's cool.
And it shows like the Lycan vampire.
Yeah, because they're all slaves and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I never watched that one.
If they get huge, then they pretty much just kill themselves because they have collars on them.
Oh, really?
And then they revolt because like someone's, I don't know if it's Kate Beckinsale's character, but someone's sleeping with the Lycans and like,
yeah,
you know.
So I think it's Kate Beckinsale and the leader in the original.
Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't.
What was the?
I haven't.
And then they made another one.
She was just like shooting cool and stuff. I don't know. I'd rather watch Matrix.
What was the one that? Because they made another one where she like has to kill her father.
I think that one's the
Rise of the Lycans.
Yeah, no. I think that was the second one.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you know, she finds that guy, or is it the first one? You know, but she finds the guy who who's half.
I think the first one was about they were trying to. No, I think that guy's in the first one. I think evolution is whenever, like, the vampires start going after the vampires. I don't know, dude. I haven't watched those movies in forever. It's been years. But all I remember is they had, like, those Lycans had those bullets that could kill vampires like nothing. You shoot them once and they're dead.
Well, they
had like some kind of poison in it or something.
They had onions on it. I mean, garlic.
We dipped them in garlic holy water.
We dipped them in tomatoes.
They've also been blessed by the Pope.
Why would they pick that as their
their what?
As their weakness, like Fably? Like, what was up with garlic?
'Cause I don't know, dude. I haven't looked into the history of vampires.
Yeah, I know you haven't. I'm just saying. Come on, man. Dang. Someone takes something.
Turn your shit off.
Nah, man. We're gonna put on some.
Fuck you, bro. I don't want to listen to this shit while we're trying to talk.
Dude, you gotta
piece
listen.
Of shit. Stop trying to plug my music.
Okay, fuck.
Get out of here.
Dude,
have that.
You were like, I don't even know, man. I'm just like,
can't have that.
Whatever, dude.
Can't.
I thought I'd lighten up the mood, you know?
Oh, because we just been talking about movies this whole time.
No, because you were saying how, you know, you knew everything about the underworld.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
We started going down a dark hole with Underworld. We started going Underworld with Underworld. Let's take it back to the comedies. Turn this shit off, bro.
Dude,
what makes you think that it's okay? We're gonna get taken off the air. We're not even on the air.
We have to listen to at least one Twilight song.
We don't have to listen to one Twilight song.
A Nathaniel Lopez song, maybe an Efren Haro song, an Andy Salas song. But right now, you know, we're listening to Ghost by Boy Toilet.
Why?
Because, dude, I can put on music if I want.
You can,
and we don't own music, so this is what I have.
Own this music, kind of.
Exactly.
Well, like
you own this music.
I don't. I own part of this music. I'm part of the contribution.
Well, I feel like I can if I want to. It's not an obligation, and I don't feel like it's one, but
yeah,
I can put on a song.
You can put on this song at least.
Like, what if I put on an Efren Haro song?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Efren won't have a problem with it. Stop making those stupid faces at me.
I know this song, guys.
Yeah, Nick actually wrote the lyrics to this song.
But I didn't.
This song's about eating too much sugar with your nose.
Yeah, sugar.
Yep. The best sugar in the world is the bird.
Well, I guess we can take this time and ask you what you think of your artistic talent in this band.
What do I think about my artistic talent in this band?
Not what you think about it. That's a lousy way of putting it.
That's just a shitty question, too, because I don't want to talk about what I think I am to this band.
Yeah, you're right. That was a shitty question.
I feel like I am I contribute some of the least amount Not financially or any other aspect. Just I feel like I don't create as much because I can be very lazy with for a while. Like I won't write lyrics until sometimes I won't write lyrics until we record. But
well, that's what some artists just have to wait for the sound.
I just feel lazy, and I feel like I don't contribute as much because I'm not.
Well, that's what you think. That's what you think.
I'm just the shit on the top.
See, that I didn't, that was a shitty question, but he answered it anyways. That's a good man.
Fuck you.
I think that's what...
Fuck you, shitty question.
Let the freak speak.
Let the freaks sleep.
Let the freaks... Dude, it's not even late. It's 10:02.
10:02?
Yeah. The alcoholics aren't even sleeping yet.
The alcoholics are consuming right now.
Exactly, so it's not late.
They've been sleeping all day.
No, they haven't. They go to work.
Not the good alcoholics.
Dude.
Good alcoholics don't have jobs.
Good the pro alcoholics, they're called bums.
Yeah.
They're living on the streets.
No, those are called retired alcoholics.
Those aren't retired alcoholics.
Those
are pro athletes.
They're pro athletes of drinking.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm so pro at drinking. I can't even go to bars.
Dude, I see Mexicans from being a Mexican, kind of Latino, just pretty much. But you see people who just like have a family, and they don't party or anything, but they'll drink until like they're pretty much drunk.
Get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. An alcoholic. I'm not saying someone who's like tore down like all the time, just wasted. I'm more like
you're talking about like a weekend drunk.
No, like a everyday drunk. That's an alcoholic still.
Yeah. Well, even
so
if
people, I say most alcoholics.
Weekly.
I say most alcoholics have a normal life. They're just not that wasted person who's on the streets all the time.
Yeah,
and they're not the weekend person either.
Drinking at home, chilling
till they're drunk.
Yeah,
that's an alcoholic.
Putting themselves to sleep with their beer.
That's fun.
She's like,
I think you were.
Can you turn this music off?
One of those influences.
Or down at least.
Oh, what's wrong, dude? Does it scare you?
No, it doesn't scare me.
Oh, I believe it.
Put on FKG.
FKG?
Put on Efren Haro or Andy Solis song.
Okay, is FKG? That's a
Solis and Haro song.
But who's SoundCloud? Shout out to SoundCloud.
Shouts out SoundCloud, sponsor us.
So.
It's on both of theirs, so you can find it on Efren's. You can find it on Andy's.
Okay. This is going to Efren R. Haro on SoundCloud. He's a
friend, a
drummer for Toilet, a friend of ours, drummer for Sucker and the Sour, and he's a really talented person.
Sucker for the Sour,
and he does his own hip hop or rap. So
he also raps with our homie Andy Solis.
Next we'll listen to Los Locos, but then again we're just gonna have it low. So if you can hear the music, mainly take a look.
This is a late night rambling.
I think we've been pretty
I think we've been steady. Not super energetic for them. We can't be super loud right now because my wife's asleep in the bedroom, but.
I mean, I can see. Let's see. What's ridiculous to say right now? Or am I too tired to say anything ridiculous?
I don't know. What would be ridiculous at this point?
I feel like I can't.
I feel like all we've done really is just had conversations about movies.
Well, I don't know. I feel like right now I can't really say anything after watching that William Control. I'm like, man, I don't want to say anything that's going to hurt anyone right now.
Yeah.
And say something too crazy. He kind of made me think about censorship. Not for myself, but just a crazy outlook on how people can totally
manipulate what you say.
Yeah, manipulate what you say.
Yeah, we're in that era now where people can literally take you out of context. Exactly. I think Tom Segura got into a lot of trouble because, in one of his specials, he literally says, you can't say retarded anymore. And, you
got to learn from that.
People, like the way that, I think the way that his, like the trailer on Netflix for it was cut made it look like he was talking crap about retarded people, which he wasn't. He was just saying you can't say that word anymore. But a lot of people started going after him and talking crap about him and like, oh, you're a piece of shit, you know?
Oh my God.
Because they saw that trailer. They didn't even go and watch the special or anything. They just saw that and they're like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit.
Oh my God.
And you know, we're definitely in that. We're in that time right now where people just see things like the little snippets, and you know, some people just don't take the time to really dig into things and investigate. You know, we don't live in that era anymore where people are investigating what they're told. Some people just see what they see and they think that's real.
Exactly. But I don't know. With William Control, I felt like it was this very real thing, and poor guy, like.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
If anything, you know, he's an innocent man who's still suffering from the law. Well, not even the law anymore.
It's just the public opinion.
Just the public opinion.
Exactly, he says that.
And that's sad. And I hope the best for that man. To you, William Control, I read your book. That was really good.
Read all three of them.
Read all three of them. Not quick, because I didn't want to read them quickly.
Just take your time.
Exactly. They're good books.
Yeah.
I like them. I like the whole like scenario he put, the wording he used, a lot of references to like counterculture icons and stuff.
Probably some of his inspirations.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, he mentions like, you know, feeling like Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, I like
crazy shit like that.
I think my favorite joke he makes, or a little like sentence he says, is how he says that Stephen Hopkins is lying and he's just fucked up on acid the whole time. Yeah. And I was just like, that's fucking hilarious.
I think it's a good one. One of mine, I remember him saying is, oh fudge, I just had it in my head. Dang it.
Fucking let it slip out of there, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did. And, oh, god damn it. Okay, well, William Control, like, yeah, his books are amazing.
Yeah, his books are good.
Oh, now I remember.
Yeah.
It's how he explains what the devil looks like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like how he uses the face for that one. Just like this old-timey looking type of lounge, type of like era type of guy, you know, smokes cigars, drinks whiskey only.
Like a gentleman.
A gentleman. But he compares it to like an actor or some type of singer.
Yeah.
But I like how he explains that scenario. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. But then the devil shows him like his real face. Pretty much.
Does he?
I think so.
Dang,
it's like I think it's whenever they're sitting in the. I don't remember exactly when he reveals his true self.
See, that's like, those are like when I think about making a book and like scenarios like that people like make within their books, like what made them think that like that's their face for the devil? Like you must like everyone's probably has their own face for the devil, you know?
Yeah.
And like to write it out and then put your own perspective on what the devil may look like, I think it's a crazy thought, like how someone that like that's their idea of it.
Well, it's a personal devil.
Mm-hmm. You know, like I haven't written anything that what a devil might look like to me, but like I bet it's a crazy thought to try to write it down and like have it.
I want to try and capture that with this film I have in my mind, and it's about this dream I had, and I have a poem in my poem book about it. I forgot what the poem's titled. It's somewhere in there. But you know, it's about how I woke up one morning at 3 a.m. because like I don't remember my dream, but all I remember is I woke up because I heard this very vivid sound of like a pen signing something on the desk, like a really quick signature. And I woke up and I looked over at my clock, and it was like 3:00, and I was just like, I felt very uncomfortable after that moment that I saw that, and I was just like, I was just like, did I just like, because the first thing I thought when I woke up is that I felt like I sold my soul to the devil.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, I was like worried. So I put on Grateful Dead to like, cause I was just like, I needed to listen to something happy to like make me happy. And I was just like laying in bed really worried. And I wrote a little script about it. Andy drew a picture of it, but the backstory that I wrote behind it was like, it's a writer who's got writer's block, and he pretty much just like tries to sell his soul so he can finish his book. But what I have in my mind is like, really, I want to make it like a very like beautiful. I want to make it. I want to shoot it very beautifully. I want it to look really nice, and I want it to be very intense at some moments. Because I thought of this scene one day. I was sitting. Me and Andy were having a conversation over the phone, and we were talking about something. And I was just sitting here, and I was just like doing this with my hands, and I was like, I want to do a scene because it's like I'm trying to get rid of this table, so I'm probably like, I'll buy a new table, and then I'm going to use this table, and I have this idea for this scene where, you know, the main character is just sitting at his typewriter, and he can't write, and he's just sitting there for hours, and he's just dragging his fingers across the table. And at the end of it, you know, there's his fucking finger marks have dug deep tracks in the table, and his fingers are just covered in blood, and he's just still just fucking sitting there, and he hasn't fucking typed a word. And I think how I want to capture it is just like this guy that pretty much sells his soul to the devil, and then he's starting to just like slip and lose his fucking head, and he's starting to have these visions, and he wakes up to you know, to completely written like stuff, but he doesn't like it because it doesn't feel like it's his writing. So he tries to stay up so he can remember writing everything. But whenever he stays up, he can't write. And
that sounds like,
so he's like trying to see. That's what inspired that recent poem of mine as well. Like I tried, you know, I sold my soul to write better, but now all my writing lacks soul. Mm-hmm. You know, that's pretty much what I want the thing to be about. It's like this guy sells his soul to write better, and like he writes really good, but he doesn't like the writing because it doesn't feel like it's his writing. It doesn't feel like him. It doesn't have that like personal touch.
That just sounds like a whole good like scenario for like what someone would probably go through if they sold their soul to like an evil entity. Mm-hmm. I would imagine you're using the devil as like, you know, like an evil type of thing. You know, you can be cursed by the devil, not so much as like, you know, evil, but like, you know, you can be cursed just by selling your soul to the devil. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that's a good scenario to put it as, you know, like to like, you know, you're just feeling the backlash of that, you know. It doesn't feel like you.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of like selling out in a way.
Exactly.
You know, you got what you wanted, but you're very unsatisfied because it's what you wanted, but in a way, it's not exactly what you wanted. And I don't know. I'm just like how I want to shoot it, I want to take my time with it. I want to make it very nice, art housey. I'm probably going to try and cast some older people. I want to cast an older man that's good at acting, like that is like an actor that's passionate about acting. And I want to cast him as like I guess like the devil. But I want him to be dressed up very nicely. It's going to be like, I've already got like the whole beginning. I'll tell you about it a little bit later, but I saw this really nice car on my way to work. It was like this old-fashioned car, and it was like red and black, or it was like red and white. It was like a 1930s car probably. And I looked at it and I was like, "Fuck!" I wondered how much I would have to add. I wondered how much that guy would be like. I wondered how much that guy would take, like how much it would take that for that guy to let me just film a scene where that car drives up to a spot and the man steps out of that car. Literally one scene. How much? Because I would be willing to pay like $200, $300. Just
sometimes people, you just gotta ask, and like, I forget who it is, but it was like a rapper, and they go.
Oh, it's Little Dicky.
Yeah, they go.
He goes around to mansions. He's just like, hey. I'm just wondering, if we could like shoot
a music video.
Yeah, it was like right in front of you, in your backyard,
and like they let him, and that's amazing, dude. Like people will let you do stuff like that. They'll just be watching you,
Right.
Just be like, okay.
Yeah, that's why you just gotta ask, because some places are chill.
Just say, just drive up from how you usually do, and then just park at this spot, and I'll be filming that. But you'll probably want to get like different shots, unless you're like watching it, like come down, and then you get that angle. It's like it takes that.
I would try and have multiple cameras, just so I don't have to. I feel like it would cost more to be like, okay, well, can you go drive back up there? Because I'd have to pay for gas.
Yeah.
And
you'd have to get that just like a one shot that like cover all the angles.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but it's like it was such a nice car that I was like, because if you're the man that's the root of evil, you're not gonna come rolling in some shitty ass car.
I don't know. If I was a man who was evil, yeah, that feels like a Jesus thing, huh? You're gonna roll in the shittiest car ever, but like
you're humble.
You're humble. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but
I don't think the devil would pop up in a shitty thing.
Exactly, but that's
not like a limo.
It's also just it's kind of like the stereotypical way to depict the devil.
Yeah. Well, like I don't know. Even I see Jesus wearing a suit every now and then, not looking like a bearded person all the time.
He cuts his hair. Jesus gets a job.
Yeah. Well, because
make that a fucking movie.
Jesus comes back after he dies.
Yeah, and he gets a job.
And he has short hair.
Starts supporting his kids.
I think he has short hair, but I don't think he has
Little did we know that Jesus actually knocked up a bunch of people in his cult.
I'm Jesus. I'm John Lennon, and we're bigger than Jesus. We're as big as Jesus.
I'm Jesus, and I'm going to strum this guitar. Ding 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 ding.
John Lennon on the banjo.
Ding 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 ding. Thank you. That's been my song called Resurrection. Now we're gonna play my next song. My next song is called Good Friday, featuring Ice Cube.
You think if John Lennon was alive, he'd be making music still?
I think if John Lennon was still alive, the Beatles would have never got back together.
Yeah, of course not. They were already broken up.
Exactly, and they would have never got back together.
Why would you even bring that up?
Because
you can't forgive them?
Honestly, I don't even really like the Beatles so much. Like they've got some songs.
You look like a Beatles type of guy, though.
I used to, but then I was just like
Strawberry Fields.
It was after I read the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test that I really stopped liking the Beatles.
That's amazing. I like that. That's a cool story. You should tell everyone. I
don't think everybody would understand it.
If you don't understand it, then you like the Beatles too much, which I'm not a fan of. I like that.
Well, it's like I guess what the Beatles had originally was cool, but then after they saw the California psychedelic scene, I feel like everything after that was just like, fuck you guys, you're just trying to rip off America.
So what about between the Doors and the Grateful Dead?
I read an article because I was curious as to see like if anyone had said anything about like one or another, and I remember reading this article saying Jerry Garcia didn't like
Jim Morrison.
He didn't like the Doors. He said that after they were playing at some festival, and after watching their set, like the middle of their set, he just went back to his like the green room and started playing his guitar. because he said, I think what he said was that it didn't sound as full. It's like they didn't even have a bass player.
Oh, dang, what a judgmental dick. He was on heroin anyways. Who cares about him? Jim Morrison was an alcoholic too. Who cares about him?
You know, who knows how Jim Morrison died?
But like that does, I don't know. That doesn't even make sense to me. It didn't sound full because there wasn't a bass.
You gotta think about it though.
It sounds good though.
No, well, yeah, to us.
Yeah, but to them back then, you mean?
This is Jerry Garcia was rooted like deep in blues.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you got to think how big Grateful Dead was. Like that band, of course, they sounded full because they.
Well, the Doors was making a new sound, you know.
Yeah, I liked the Doors. I really liked the Doors.
Is that it? Yeah, I really like the Doors. Okay, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like Jerry Garcia coming from the blues scene, you know, there's bass in that. Exactly. There's different
there's harmonica, banjo, you know.
So, you know, I can see that difference, it being a problem. But for him to not I don't know. I feel like I feel like people took that serious for his opinion, you know, about the Doors.
No, I don't.
That's a shitty thing to
probably,
say.
But who cares?
That sounds like a shitty thing.
You know what's funny is
I
read something about fucking. It was like, what Keith Richards had to say about the Grateful Dead, because I know that Jerry Garcia liked.
Keith Richards.
He liked them, but Keith Richards didn't really give a shit about the Grateful Dead.
One person I think about is Maynard and Kurt Cobain. I wonder if Maynard likes Kurt Cobain music or even enjoyed any time with Kurt.
Well, you know,
he never gives his opinion or anything about it.
Well, he just talks about how he made that shirt that said "Free," Francis Bean Cobain.
Who did, Maynard?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he said he walked around and sold them around Lollapalooza. That's
amazing.
I think I might be wrong. I don't want to be throwing dirt on this beautiful man's name. even though my dirt wouldn't even be able to fucking reach him.
Well, you know, they have their own problems. Who cares? They're all good people in the end of the day. They just gotta realize that.
Who?
Both of them.
Kurt Cobain
and Frances Bean.
Well, yeah, she's just a kid.
Yeah, exactly. She's our age, pretty much. So yeah, but I wonder what
she done.
I wonder what he thinks. Do you think he ever puts on a Kurt Cobain song?
I don't know, because I know that Kurt Cobain talked shit about a Tool music video.
Only him. He wasn't just talking shit. He was just saying, you know, he didn't like it, and then he compared it to another band, which is kind of the shittiest thing you can fucking say to another band.
Exactly.
Compare them. I feel.
Hey, but who's still alive?
Yeah, where do you get off Kurt Cobain by talking about that? Where
does he get off? He gets off at the end. And then, Courtney Love did it. That's going to come back. Anybody listening is going to hear that thousands of times.
Yeah, if you'll learn more and more as you dig deep into the history of Kurt Cobain. But... You know, even though he was a drug addict and all that, I do like his character. I watched the Montage of Hell and, seen stuff even before that, documentaries. Okay. The Montage of Hell is to show you that, or the Montage of Heck is to show you that, he was more of a drug addict than just being a father, or a great artist.
So he was a drug addict first?
Yes, he was a drug addict first. And so, you have that kid who grows up and he likes this type of music, but he becomes a drug addict. And, to have that perspective from all this other perspective that I got, he was a great man. He killed himself. He was so sad.
Why would you be a great man to kill yourself in a way?
Yeah, well, that's the media for you, But, to have that documentary come out, the Montage of Heck, it's just, It kind of makes you think, it gives you a real opinion on how you should view this person. Okay, I understand that he wasn't really a father because he died and killed himself, and he was a drug addict, with, who the mother was also a drug addict.
Yeah.
Thank God that, nothing happened to her. But, I appreciate the person who he was musically and, how he involved himself in his music and how he talked about making music and how he went at with making music. Because he would even, by radio time.
He talks shit about the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, good.
Did
he?
So I don't remember what magazine it's for, but he wrote on a T-shirt that said the Grateful Dead still suck, and then they told him he can't wear it. So then he just wrote corporate magazines still suck.
Okay.
So if you ever see a picture of him wearing that shirt that says corporate magazines still suck, originally he was going to wear a shirt that says Grateful Dead still sucks.
That's cool. What if he doesn't even mean it? I mean, Primus sucks, and I don't mean that. Primus is the best band ever.
The best band ever?
But Primus sucks. If you understand that,
FWF sucks.
Huh? FWF sucks?
Yeah.
Fucking with fire.
Nope, that wasn't
Fucking with fucks.
Fuck, we're fucked.
Fight with fire.
Picho, fuck, wow.
Fool with fools.
Fool, wow, fool. For waffle? For waffle.
But, they're all drug addicts at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, everybody's shooting up a little bit.
Would you want to meet Jim Morrison?
I don't know. I would love to see the Doors play back in the day.
Yeah, but meet him as a person.
I don't know. Maybe.
Depends
on how I was.
What do you mean?
I mean, if I was how I was now, we're from two different time eras, man. I don't know.
I'm not saying have a whole fucking conversation with the guy. I'm saying to meet him.
See him perform?
Not see him perform, to meet him. A little occurrence. You get to say hi to Jim Morrison, but it's a very casual thing. Let's say you're backstage. Or
I would hope it was
cool.
a
friend of a friend.
I hope.
Would you say hi, knowing that he's a dickhead?
What if I went back in time and I said, "What's up?" And then all of a sudden, my face just starts to it just starts to fade onto all the Doors albums. My hair's really long, and I'm all 70s looking after Jim Morrison dies. I'm just I became part of the Doors.
Shut the fuck up.
It's bro, have you listened to the new Doors album? You're what? It's what are you talking about? The Doors stopped making music a long time ago. What are you talking about? The Doors just released 12 albums after Morrison died. They got that new vocalist.
I'd want to party with Elvis.
Would you?
Hell yeah, party with Elvis.
You think Elvis would want to party with a Mexican like you? I don't know. Was Elvis racist?
No. Well, he was the king. Why would the king be racist?
A lot of kings in the past killed people.
Genocide. Do you think Napoleon was a king?
No, because he was part of a government. Was he? Or no, was he a dictator?
Yeah, he was a dictator.
But he had a government.
Yeah, the parliament, I'm pretty sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A king
I think he became a Czar. Probably not.
A czar? It's not a Caesar, it's just czar.
Some people say different.
No, it's pronounced czar, bro.
Czar?
Czar.
God?
Yahweh.
That Yahweh, man.
That
Yahweh.
Yo, bro, you got any yayo Yahweh? Yahweh yayo.
Yayo.
We only get the best. We're sponsored by Yahweh Wayo. Yahweh Yayo. That smells good.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Enough to resurrect you.
Enough to bring you back.
Are you ever crashing out during a party? You drank a little bit too much too early. Have you ever tried Yahweh Yayo? So good and potent. It'll resurrect you from the dead.
You ever smoked a big spliff, but you put some Yahweh Yayo? Well, that's what it's for. To put in your spliffs. Maybe snort it, maybe smoke it.
Yahweh, right in the tip.
Right in the tip. You can put it on the tip and have your girl lick it off of you.
In the words of Kiss, lick it up.
Dude, you said that yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah, to Edie's.
I did. I thought I said it earlier today.
No, dude. Well, we were drinking. You were drinking.
My days are blurred.
My days are blurry days.
Blurred days. In the words of the great Efren Haru.
Should we ever
blurry days
make a song on this? You want to ever make a song on this?
On this?
You know, you fuck with B Team, but I fuck with fucking Beyonce's sister.
Touch your baby.
You know, Beyonce has a sister who sings.
Not as famous, apparently.
No, she isn't. You think Beyonce stole a song?
What's her name? Beyonce.
I forget. What's
her name? Is Seance.
Mac Miller makes a quote to her.
Bigger the panza, better the chanza.
Like, you know, you can be like a...
Pico, you can pico de gallo this.
Dude, that's my dick.
Oh, so big, bro.
Yeah. Choke again.
Fucking put that shit away.
You ever I don't know if I ever asked you this, but if I did, I want to know again. But
let's hear it.
Are you the type of guy to moan if his girl eats your ass, or do you take it?
Depends on how good it is.
So it really depends on how good it is. Do you think you can?
Yeah, if it's going good, I'm gonna be a little bit verbal about it.
Yeah,
I'll let that person.
What do you think? You think you'd be loud, or you'd be like, "Fuck, oh yeah." How would you moan? What's your go-to?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what kind of face do you make when you
My caveman face.
Yeah, the caveman. You go caveman?
I want to make a movie about cavemen. I always thought that'd be the fucking funniest shit.
Like cavemen making jokes of her, just ooh, ooh.
I don't know if it'd be like.
That sounds like it'd have to be an independent film, but
because I wanted to make a Wookiee movie where it's all just they're talking in Wookiee, but it's all subtitles.
Everyone wants to do that movie, dude. I hope so. Every Star Wars fan should be able to want to do that.
The Wookiee movie.
The Wookiee movie, bro.
He's just talking Wookiee, but it's subtitles. Imagine if they were just talking in English.
You think? What would you do though? How would you do that? They're getting invaded by the Empire, huh?
What if there was just no dialogue and they just talked in Wookiee?
That'd be scary, dude.
People
wouldn't finish that movie. It cost millions of dollars.
I would still watch it. I would go watch it opening.
Dude, how many people would be a Wookiee though? That would have to be a large cast of just makeup and everyone's a Wookiee, and then having
CGI, bro.
Oh, dude, come on.
Dude.
You'd have to have at least 30 people as Wookiee at one point.
You're telling me Star Wars can't afford 30 fucking Wookiees?
Dude, I haven't seen...
Based on a whole Wookiee
I haven't
movie.
Seen a Star Wars do something like that unless it was
Revenge of the Sith,
all kinds of background.
Motherfucker.
All kinds of background. It's just background acting. Yeah, they have...
Yeah, well...
But they have their main actors, And then they have a lot of CGI. The original ones are cool. You know the fight on... where the Ewoks live, the land of the Ewoks.
What, in Revenge Endor?
Yeah. They have so many little people and big people fighting in that one. All the scenes, dude, it's crazy.
Revenge of the Sith?
Hell yeah. That one's Revenge of the Sith. No. Return of the King. No.
That's fucking Lord of the Rings, bro.
No, Return of the Jedi.
What?
Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
yeah.
The Ewoks. You're talking about Ewoks.
The land
Wookiees.
of the Ewoks. Yeah.
I was confused for a second.
Yeah,
but some might say I'm not a real Star Wars fan. Those people can eat my fucking shit.
Those I really like that one. You know, there's a scene where one of the stormtrooper throws the Ewok. It's amazing.
You know, there's that part where the Ewok turns the other one
Ewoks
over,
win that
and
battle.
it's sad.
Yeah, the Ewoks, but they win that battle.
Well, of course,
it was their first war. I'm pretty sure, dude. I'm pretty sure that was their first battle ever.
Well, they
look like hunters only.
They held up C-3PO and Leia, although Leia fucking came through clutch.
Dude, Leia comes through clutch. I know. What was it? Not A New Hope.
No, not in A New Hope.
What was the last one that just came out? Oh, The Last Jedi. When she
does that little Mary Poppins.
Might as well have given her a fucking umbrella, huh?
Fucking.
R.I.P. Carrie Fisher.
Right.
The most beautiful woman
you know
ever.
What was so sad is that her mom died the next day after her. Aww. And what her mom said was that she like one of the last things she was just saying that she wanted to be with Carrie. That's crazy.
That's so sad.
And it was like she didn't die of sadness. She just died because like what I was reading.
She got old.
No, she didn't die of sadness. She died because she just didn't want her daughter to be alone.
Oh my god.
Right? It's fucking crazy. Did you ever watch Halloween Town? Any of those movies?
Yeah.
She was Carrie Fisher's mom was the grandma.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
You know, okay, so check this out. In Fear and Loathing, you know, whenever they go in, they pay the guy so they can get into that show. Mm-hmm. That's who they're going to go see. They're going to go see Carrie Fisher's mom performing.
That's awesome.
Right?
That's a hilarious joke, too. I love that joke.
I just rewatched Fear and Loathing, and I realized that I forgot what her name was. Because it wasn't Fisher.
I like that scene too. He takes apart the thing that goes
little line.
Yeah,
maker.
And then he throws it. That's a good one. But that video you sent to me, I'm pretty sure it was you, of him flipping the bottle and it drops. And Johnny Depp's just laughing at him.
Yeah,
that was a good.
Like I think that was like whenever they were like pre-production for Fear and Loathing.
I like that. That would look cool. How old was he when he met those guys?
It was like the 90s. So what? Hunter was born in 50.
Because they went around just drinking one day.
No, Hunter was born in 40 something, wasn't he?
Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure he was like born in that because I think he's a 50s man.
Well, he was a kid in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was like a man in the 20s.
Yeah.
Not the
in
20s.
The 60s.
Yes, 60s.
Yeah. So he has to be 40s baby, huh? Maybe 52 or something.
No,
that's too young.
Huh? Exactly. So, check this out. If he might even be.
He came out with with Hell's Angels when he was like 25, and that was like in like 67. I'm pretty sure.
Something around that time.
Yeah. He would have to. Yeah, he was probably. Yeah, I grew up like as a kid in the 50s.
Exactly. You know, he talks about it.
But because he was in diapers by the end of it, so like I wonder if he was like in good shape to be like drinking heavily when he was like with Johnny Depp and John Cusack.
Who knows? He used to just hang out with them.
You'd have to ask them, of course. But
exactly.
But I wonder. I'm just wondering about that one.
He was.
He seemed pretty young in that photo, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I
lively.
think his second wife said that he was just like a kid at heart or something.
Mm-hmm. He was like a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Man, to be in diapers at the end of it drive me insane too.
Yeah, I've seen it happen to people I love. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, so who's gonna take care of your parents?
I'll take care of my parents.
Yeah? You're gonna have that?
Yeah.
You're gonna have...
I told my dad whenever... Because he'll say, he's like, you better wipe my ass whenever I'm older because I wiped your ass whenever you were a kid. I was like, okay. Like, I'll take care of you.
You think any of them are gonna go crazy?
Well, dementia's in my family. My tata had dementia.
But which one? Your mom or dad?
My dad's dad. Oh. I watched him go crazy.
No way.
Yeah, it's fucking.
You're gonna watch your dad go crazy, maybe.
I hope not. My dad takes care of his body, though.
Yeah, he thinks a lot.
My dad thinks a lot.
I don't know. Usually, like people who have that,
I need to get my dad. I want to have my dad sit down and podcast. Do a podcast with my dad.
That'd be cool. You should
talk to him about his whole life. I want to sit down with all my Theos because they're all just like they've all got crazy stories.
The Muslim one.
Oh no, that's my mom's brother.
That'd be cool. Ask him how he became.
Well, he's a professor.
Exactly. Ask him stuff like that. That'd be cool. That's diversity.
Exactly. I want to on my podcast. I want to have. I want to interview a lot of people. I asked Andy if his dad would probably be down to do an episode because I just talked to him about the Air Force.
Yeah. Exactly.
Talk to Tiger about the Army.
That'd be cool.
Tiger's a fucking Apache pilot. That shit's crazy. He's like the only people that will ever get to experience flying in an Apache are people that know how to fly Apaches.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's a quote by an Apache pilot right there.
Right. Told me some fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Good. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about the military.
Yeah.
I have my opinion about the military. It's not a bad opinion.
No.
I have an opinion.
I also have an opinion about the military.
I have friends in the military.
I've got family in the military. I was born on a military base.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I was born in a hospital, bro.
Madigan Army Medical Center, Fort Lewis, Washington.
Yeah. Did they wipe your ass too?
I hope so.
Huh?
No.
They feed you? Did they nurse you? Huh?
They put tissues in my butthole.
They put you in your pussy and let you lick it as a baby.
They started pulling out endless tissues out of my butthole.
Ew.
It's like, oh, wait, these are his intestines. It's like, put those back in there. It's like pulling out sausage links, bro.
That's why you look like that?
Yeah, that's why my legs look like sausage links. They cut out my insides.
Okay, so I think we should wrap it up now. I think
let's end it with a strong topic.
Okay, strong topic.
Something current, maybe. Anything current.
Okay.
Any
I got the most.
That's going on crazy.
I got the most current thing, I guess. I'll ask you first.
All right.
Okay. From I know your experience, a writer's block right now.
All right.
But let's hear about that first poem book.
What do you mean?
I want to hear about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about the poem book.
Well, I decided probably around fucking mid 2017 that I wanted to start collecting. I wanted to start a collection of poems that I wanted to type out on my typewriter, and I decided to start writing poems. And then, Facebook memories would come up, and I used to write poems whenever I was younger. So I would take some of the poems that I really liked from my old Facebook posts, and I would rewrite them, and I'd post them. Well, I wouldn't post them. I would rewrite them, and then I would, save that page, and then I probably around what was it, mid 2018, I had my stack done. I had about over 100 pages, and I started trying to categorize some of my poems. I tried to do 3 parts, 3 sections, which, the poem book is 3 sections. I divided them into I think the first section is more darker themed and death related, and then the second part is more nostalgic, kind of like nostalgia sorrow, and then the third part is I always try and end on a more uplifting beat, because I do have uplifting thoughts and thoughts that I feel are more driving and inspirational, maybe. So I always try and end on like a positive note. And then I decided to fucking publish it in 2019. I finally got around to it. I translated all of my poems from paper to my computer. I fucking mistyped some fucking shit on my poem, and I didn't even look over it because I was in such a rush to publish it. Whenever I published it, I didn't like really take my time. I didn't put like I don't know. I just didn't put a lot of stuff in there. I feel like I should have put some more in it. But you know, that's just the first edition of the first book. I think whenever I release my second book, I'll release a second edition of the first book as well.
What's the name of the first book?
The first book is called Nothing, No One, Miscellaneous Poems. You can buy it on lulu.com, lulu.com/Nathaniel Lopez.
Word.
What do you think about it?
Your book?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, what I've read so far, I have the book, and I really want to take my time with this one. But the poems I've read so far are very relevant poems. I think they have to do with a lot of like learning about yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing that really strikes me as sad, but kind of just something I can relate to as a person just from growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And not in like a weird, like just for a person who's an outsider, but for someone who has a grasp on the reality and who they are as a person can relate to.
Yeah.
And I feel like those poems really capture it, especially certain poems about time and like how time is like this relevant, moving thing.
Yeah, and it always is moving, and but you're always wanting to stop sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know, like one of my poems is just like time waits for no one. No one.
I feel like it. I feel like it doesn't go too far in like being white, and I don't think it goes far into being black. I feel like it has this very beautiful gray meaning to it. Like you stay in the middle where it's like neither side is too like overwhelmed, but it's like perfectly in the gray area where it's like a beautiful wordings and like statements that you can learn from and build from and have a deep connection with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ended on that high praise of me. Thank you.
Yeah, even though you're like, yeah, I've kind of fucked up.
I did, but you know, I hope it doesn't take away from the poems.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, let the freak sleep now.
Let the freak sleep now. Change name.
Change name. Enter. Jinx. We have no sponsors. If you would like to sponsor these podcasts in the future, contact us at sandmanhellprod@gmail.com. That's sandmanhellprod@gmail.com. Any future sponsors that would like to be having the freaks speak about them, let us know. Keep it real. Keep it groovy.
Keep it real. Keep it groovy.
Go watch some fucking movies.
Have a good night, everyone. This is Nick and Nathaniel, and have a good night. Because it's night for us.
And we're done talking to y'all. Peace.